Hello Chief, Kaiza here with more Path to Nowhere Sinner Complete Guide, and today's video topic is our 3rd anniversary limited sinner, Augustus. If you like the video, please don't forget to share, comment, like and subscribe. And if you do, thank you so much for the continued support. And without further ado, let's start the guide. Augustus is a limited S-class radical tendency sinner who deals true damage. For those who don't know what true damage is a type of damage which ignores the enemy's defense and magic resistance. Here is a quick comparison of how physical or magical damage is calculated and how true damage is calculated. As you can see, on very basic situation, true damage tend to deal higher damage than physical and magic damage. But on actual fight, things is not always that simple. So let's try to understand the character further. Augustus' characteristic is that she can't automatically recover energy. Instead, she will gain 1 stack of Shattered Blade every 2 seconds. When casting ultimate, Augustus will consume the Shattered Blade instead of the usual energy. You can track how much Shattered Blade you have by looking at the number next to your Augustus HP. Shattered Blade can be stacked 60 times. For every 2 energy Augustus gains, she gains 1 stack of Shattered Blade instead. This means energy batteries sinner like LL, Empower Potestas, or Crimebrand that provides energy still going to work with her. At the start of battle, Augustus will gain 20 stacks of Shattered Blade, giving her a head start. Augustus' mania intensifies that each time Nirvana Port fires a magnetic blade, there is a 10% chance of gaining 1 stack of Shattered Blade. For now, keep these 2 words at the back of your head as I will discuss this in the ultimate section. Augustus' normal attack is called Mag Blade. It's an attack which deals damage equal to 73 to 122% of Augustus' attack to all enemies in a single grid within skill range. These unique abilities to hit all enemies in a single grid give Augustus the potential to mobbing even from her normal attack. Augustus' ultimate is called Magnetic Judgment and can be used when Augustus has Shattered Blade. You can activate this anytime you need, so you don't have to wait until it reaches maximum stacks. During the ultimate, Augustus can't perform normal attack and consume 2 Shattered Blade per second. For each Shattered Blade consumed, Nirvana Port fires 1 Magnetic Blade at different grid within skill range, prioritizing grid with enemies. Magnetic Blade deal damage equal to 144 to 260% of Augustus' attack to all enemies in a single grid. So the way it works is similar with her normal attack but with more power and bigger range. For those who curious with what Nirvana Port is, it's this massive aircraft flying over the enemies. You can see its shadow when Augustus casts her ultimate, just a small detail that people might miss. The damage from Magnetic Blade counts as Shattered Blade damage and normal attack. Despite of being counted as normal attack, unfortunately this attack cannot crit. If you also wonder what Shattered Blade damage is, it's just a new type of damage that associated with certain sinner archetype, like Life Loss team with their Life Loss damage and Burn team with their Burn damage. So we might expect a new archetype team called Shattered Blade team in the future. By far, Augustus and Cyclin is the only member of this archetype, and Cyclin is the only one who can amplify this type of damage. Okay, now back to Augustus. The ultimate will end when Shattered Blade stacks run out, Augustus affected by control effect, or if she performs other actions. This effect seems like a downside but is actually very useful because Augustus is going to continuously consume Shattered Blade despite of there is no enemy on the field, and you naturally don't want to waste your Shattered Blade. To stop Augustus from using her ultimate, simply move her to stop her from consuming more Shattered Blade. Keep in mind that this ultimate has a 4-second cooldown after use. Augustus' passive one is called Hysteresis Echo. With this passive, Augustus gains 1 stack of Echo Mark each time Nirvana Port fires Magnetic Blade. Echo Mark can be stacked 30 times. For each stack of Echo Mark, Augustus' attack increased by 1%, making it a potential of plus 30% attack. When Echo Mark reaches 15 stacks, Magnetic Blade deal additional damage equal to 60 to 120% attack to all enemies in the cross area of the grid. This damage counts as Shattered Blade damage and normal attack damage. Indicator wise, when you reach 15 stacks, Augustus' sword will turn half gold. while you reach maximum stack, it will turn full gold. Augustus' passive 2 is called Queen of War. When Augustus is on the field, all allied sinners gain true damage plus 15 to 30%. At the start of battle, Augustus gained additional true damage plus 15 to 30% for 30 seconds. The second effect seems to be a speedrunner thing and synergizes very well with Crimebrand like Bell Tower and Nightmare Revelation, who also only active on the first 30 seconds. Augustus' exclusive Crimebrand is called Regicide. It has a passive effect in which after the battle begins, Nirvana Port will continuously store damage equal to 10% of Augustus' damage. This exclusive also has an exclusive ultimate called Steel Apocalypse. It's a multi-hit attack dealing damage equal to 120, 180, or 240% of the stored damage to all enemies within skill range. Taking a closer look, the exclusive ultimate is divided into 10 attacks to each enemies. The first hit will deal 2 core damage. The damage is not shared between enemies, so each enemy will receive all the total damage you store. Due to the multi-hit attack animation, make sure that you don't use her ultimate immediately or affected by control effect because it will interrupt the exclusive ultimate. For each stacks of Echo, this attack will gain damage plus 2% and not affected by any other effect. Meaning if there is any other buff or debuff from other sinners, it will not change the outcome of the ultimate. The limit of the stored damage is unknown, but assuming that there is none, this exclusive Crimebrand will be a massive nuke to the whole field. So it will be your best interest to use this exclusive at near end of the battle, to store as much damage as possible. This exclusive can only be used one time per battle. I recommend to level this exclusive between 1 to 3 depending on how much you want to invest on Augustus. To simplify it, Augustus' playstyle is use ultimate where appropriate, turn off ultimate if there is downtime by moving Augustus, use exclusive ultimate on your last burst window. For every beginner that has a chance to get Augustus now, it's very recommended to pull her even as 0. It could help tremendously on story progression. I even try her in the what I think the hardest stage of main story that took me an hour to beat. Yep, the one in chapter 16. The veteran probably know which one. I can't believe how easy it is just simply adding Augustus there. To be fair, Shin was there too, but it kind of show Augustus with a proper buff will make any gimmick on main story completely obsolete. Augustus will spend most of her time doing her ultimate and clearing waves of enemy. It might be of your interest to maintain her ultimate with Empower or LL in story mode. On stages like Mania Training and Remnant of the Dead, you can rely less on LL since these stages have a lot of enemies with core, meaning if you break them all and use Empower Potestas, you can easily maintain her ultimate the whole fight. Then the fight just turns into a watch party of Augustus spawn kill all the mobs. On a boss fight like Broken Frontline, last stand seems preferable because the duration of the fight is fairly short. LL alone should be enough to maintain Augustus' ultimate, being a true damage dealer making Augustus capable of clearing both physical and magical stage. So by mastering Augustus, you don't need a second team. BFL usually also have mobs, and due to Augustus' ability to hit all enemies in a single grid, it will make her able to store a lot of damage for her exclusive, which you can unleash at near the end of the fight to finish not only the boss but also for the last wave. In a single boss fight situation, Augustus is still really strong, but I would argue it will not be as strong as when the boss also has mobs, because now the damage stored will not be as big. In a longer boss fight like Tide of Ashes, it's probably not possible to maintain her ultimate 100% of the time, and you better off studying the best timing to core break the boss and use ultimate during that time. If I must point out Augustus' weakness, is the ultimate hit is random, meaning there are some chance that if the enemy by sheer luck never targeted by the attack or got hit but survived the attack, then it will pass you. This happened a couple of times during my test, for example when I'm dealing with this boss. Look at this bear simply walking through like no people business. You can avoid this by simply block or delay the enemy from getting out of Augustus' range. Other option is to build Augustus strong enough that it can one-shot the smaller enemies. Please follow the recommended build in the next section. skill priority starts with her ultimate. You will be on this state most of the time, and you want to make it strong enough to kill enemy, so they don't escape Augustus' range as I mentioned. Next is passive 2 to amper your ultimate damage even further. If you build a true damage team, then they will gain the benefit also. Third is passive 1, since it's an additional damage during ultimate and help Augustus to cover more ground from a single grid to cross area. And last is normal attack. You probably will be rarely using this, but you can fairly build this because in a longer fight, it will probably be hard to maintain Augustus' ultimate the whole fight. Embrace of the Dead and Melodious Build Tower is the standard for boss fight. For more general usage and damage oriented, solo dance amplifying normal attack damage when there is no enemy around Augustus. And since you can put Augustus behind with no enemies around, this Crimebrand works very well with her. There are also this new Crimebrand that will be released in the future, Tide of Ashes, that will increase attack and true damage, so stay tuned. For beginner you can use East Side Dream since most of Augustus' attack is count as normal attack. Augustus' attack count as normal attack, so normal attack damage amper has good synergy with her. Notable sinners are Shin, who is the best support currently, who not only provide normal attack damage amper but also other stuff. And then we have Lady Pearl and Reforged Summer. Reforged Summer can apply normal damage taken, which is still rare. If you want to prolong Augustus' ultimate, you can feed her with energy, so LL is a possible choice. Keep in mind Augustus will gain benefit from LL attack buff but not her skill damage buff. Next is Shattered Blade team. We have Cyclin, who inflicts Shattered Blade damage plus 30% to enemies. Cyclin also can help to extend Augustus' ultimate since she grants Shattered Blade stack and reduce the consumption of Shattered Blade during her ultimate. And we also have Seto, future sinner that deals Shattered Blade damage and true damage just like Augustus. She will be the core breaker of the team if you decide to run a pure Shattered Blade team, or don't have zero. She also inflicts true damage taken to enemies. Notable mention is Sinex. She deals true damage so she can take advantage of Augustus' passive too. At the same time, she offers damage plus 10% to all allied sinners during ultimate and true damage taken plus 25% to enemies from her passive too. Keep in mind her passive 2 duration is very short and requires Shackle 1 to keep it the whole fight. Her exclusive also allow some interesting but niche play that synergize well with Augustus. She can squeeze scattered enemies to grid in front of her and group them up. This will benefit Augustus since her attack will hit all enemies in one grid. Overall, she is hard to optimize for beginner or casual, so she is the least recommended for me. But hey, synergy is a synergy. I recommend watching her guide if you are interested to know her better. Augustus is fine Shackle 0, but if you are interested on her Shackle, here are some of the notable ones. Shackle 1, during ultimate, for every 2 stack of Shattered Blade Augustus consumes, Nirvana Port will fire additional Magnetic Blade. This Magnetic Blade will only deal 60% of the original damage. If you only consider the damage increase, then you might undervalue the Shackle, because the first effect of Shackle 1 is count toward her Mania Intensify, meaning more chance for you to get Shattered Blade and stay longer on your ultimate. Furthermore, since Nirvana ports fire Magnetic Blade, you will reach the Echo Mark maximum stack fast. Shackle 3, during ultimate, enemy within ultimate skill range receive damage taken plus 20%, and Magnetic Blade damage coefficient is increased to 1.2 times. It's a huge damage increase for both Augustus herself and for your party also. Damage taken debuff is still very rare. It's so rare that if I have to mention who can apply this type of debuff, the first 5 sinners I would mention are all limited sinners. So S3 also a recommended pull. Shackle 4, Echo Mark maximum stack plus 15 and initial Echo Mark plus 15. This gives Augustus to have potential attack plus 45% at maximum stack and start with passive 1 effect activate. I would consider this to be really overkill, so if you care about high score and love to flex, feel free to get one. The remaining Shackle is reducing interval at which the ultimate consumes Shattered Blade by 0.1 second. A bit of extra and will help you to get Echo Mark faster basically. Alright Chief, we are near the end of the video. Hopefully it helps you to understand Augustus better. I will see you on the next Sinner Complete Guide video, and if you are interested, come join me on stream where we can react and discuss the ongoing event. Until then, please take care and bye bye. Hey, do you like the video? Then please consider like, comment and subscribe. I also stream Path to Nowhere and other gacha game like Reverse 1999 and Heaven's Burn Red. So if you want to enjoy gacha game with good story, so why not join me? I will see you there. Bye bye.